A drunken man is stumbling on his way back to his home. He drank a little bit too much, and he starts hearing a horse fast approaching. He thinks to himself, I shouldn't have had that last tequila shot. Suddenly, he feels the horse's breath on the back of his neck. Scared, he turns around to see a huge black horse with flaming red eyes. He looks up to see who's riding the horse, only to never be seen again. Uy Cucuy, welcome back to the Mexighost Tales. I am your host, Denny Chavez, and today we will be visiting the legend of El Charro Negro. This is another one of Mexico's iconic ghost stories. If you are new to the channel, all we talk about here are ghost stories, conspiracy theories, myths, and creepypastas from Mexico. With that being said, that does not mean we are not inclusive. I want to hear your ghost stories, no matter where they come from. Leave them in the comment section, or if you can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as the Mexighost. Don't forget to subscribe if this type of content is for you. Leave a like, share the video, that will help us tremendously. And you can go to sleep knowing that you did a good deed for the day, helping us get out to more people and listening to a good old ghost story. But what exactly is a charro? A charro is basically a Mexican cowboy. Although the way charros are presented to us in their elaborate and highly decorated outfit, these outfits are basically used for special occasions, kind of like, festivities or weddings or quinceañeras or charreria events, which are known also as charreadas, which is similar to a rodeo here in the States. There are differences, though, between the disciplines in a charreada and the ones in a rodeo, but in essence is basically the same thing. A charro can also be confused with a mariachi since they dress the same way, but it's not the same thing. Never confuse a charro with a mariachi. According to Mexican folklore, there have been many encounters with El Charro Negro. However, for this one, we're going to stick to the original legend. It is said that his manifestations date back to the years of the Spanish colony when Spain invaded Mexico. Once you encounter the demonic emissary, the only way to escape him is by not looking at him. Once you look at his face, he will pull you to the back of his steed and take you away to the deepest depths of hell. Another way that El Charro Negro obtains his wishes is by offering desperate people a cloth pouch full of gold coins. It is said that these coins will bring you financial freedom and prosperity for a small fee. Said fee is giving up your soul or the soul of a loved one. If none of these outcomes take place, you will find yourself in the company of El Charro Negro till the break of dawn, as he follows you all the way to your destination. Another way to avoid him is by walking into a church. Whichever the case, these encounters normally start with a cordial and respectful tone. However, the people that have encountered El Charro Negro and have survived said encounters are never the same again. According to the legend, El Charro Negro was a man so ambitious and greedy that he made a deal with the devil himself. He would get all the riches that he so much desired in exchange for his soul. When Lucy came to collect, the guy tried to make a run for it. However, that was not gonna fly. Satan was pissed off at him and made him his herald. His soul not only belonged to him, but El Charro Negro would be sent off to collect on his behalf. However, there was a catch. Satan handed him a bag filled with gold coins. He told him, if you want to break this curse, you have to convince someone to take the bag. And by doing so, The person that would take the bag would take his place. This story takes place in a small town in the valley of Jalisco. A very poor man by the name of Gabriel was making his way back home from another day's work at the hacienda. Gabriel was having a bad time. He was trying to make ends meet and asked Don Juan, the hacienda's foreman, for a small loan as his children were in need of shoes and school supplies for the upcoming and fast approaching school year. However, Don Juan denied Gabriel's request. Gabriel, after having a few drinks at the town's tavern, started to make his way home, still ranting at Don Juan's denial. Maldito Don Juan, why wouldn't he help me? All of a sudden, he saw a horse running towards him. He saw the silhouette of a charro riding the horse, but he never saw his face. A cold shiver ran through Gabriel's back. The smell of sulfur soon took over. Gabriel started running like a madman to his house. His wife Maria saw her husband came in running through the door and hugged her like a small child hugging his mom. Maria was a bit scared. She saw him and asked him, ¿Qué pasó, Gabriel? Gabriel told his wife, Era el demonio. It was the devil. Maria initially thought that maybe he had a little bit too much to drink and felt that the current situation was taking a toll on her husband. That would prove to be a long night at the household. Maria would have to nurture Gabriel through it. He had started to have nightmares and would scream constantly, along with a running fever that would not subside regardless of Maria's efforts to bring it down. The following day, Gabriel got up to work. Still shaken by the events that took place the night before, he decided to confide in his compadre what had happened. His friend told him, Gabriel, no seas pendejo. People say if you get approached by the dark man, he will give you money. Gabriel paused for a second and thought this might be the way out of his financial worries. And for the following weeks, he took the same way to his home in hopes of having another encounter with the dark man. One night, as he was about to give up on his endeavor, he heard a horse neighing. He kept walking till he could feel the horse's heavy breathing on the back of his neck. Without lifting his head, Gabriel extended his hand to El Charro Negro. No words were needed, as El Charro Negro dropped a cloth pouch at Gabriel's feet. Gabriel opened the bag to look at the loot. With his head down, Gabriel reneged, "This is not enough." The dark figure let a demonic laughter and dropped a bigger bag with more gold coins and started galloping away till he disappeared. Gabriel had no idea the curse that he had unleashed upon him. For the following 2 years, the golden coins would not only got Gabriel and his family out of the precarious living conditions. The coins were so valuable that he was able to buy the hacienda he once worked in. He never lost his humility. Although taking care of his family first, Gabriel was a kind person, helping out everyone that worked for him and anyone who asked for help. In the back of his head, he knew that sooner or later he would have to repay his debt. He never understood how he would do that, so he figured that by helping out people, he would keep the dark man away. But oh, how wrong he was. One summer night, while the kids were sleeping in their bedrooms, Gabriel started having the same running fever he had a couple years back. Maria saw through the curtain a man horseback riding. She woke up Gabriel. "Gabriel, mira," she said. Gabriel immediately knew what it was all about. El Charro Negro had come to collect, and with interest. He told Maria to stay, and Gabriel walked to the front door of the house to confront El Charro Negro. He said, "I know why you're here. Please, señor, I beg of you, don't take me away from my family." The laughter was heard again, and El Charro Negro pointed to the window where Gabriel's children were sound asleep without any idea of what was going on. Gabriel fell to his knees. "Señor, Not my children, please. El Charro Negro had made his mind up. His black horse charged Gabriel and stomped him as El Charro Negro made his way to the kids' room. Maria, in an effort to try to save her kids, faced them only to be burned alive where she was standing. Nothing would forbid him from his prize. Gabriel, unable to move after the horse attack, could only see El Charro Negro took his kids and left him without the family he always swore he would protect. El Charro Negro still roams around the small towns in Mexico. Many men have disappeared, victims of the violence from the drug cartels. For obvious reasons, these disappearances are cartel members themselves. While authorities give the official version of those events, People's Rumblings claims that, unlike Gabriel, the men do take the pouch filled with gold coins, and they do become El Charro Negro, and that is the reason why their bodies are never found. And with that, we come to the ending of this episode. I hope you liked this urban legend. If you did so, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. That will help us a lot. And you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as the Mexighost. And join me for our next video where we will explore another part of Mexico's other history.
Y celebraremos una gran fiesta mexicana juntos.
¿De qué fiesta hablas?
Noviembre 2.
¿Y qué celebran?
A los muertos.